County Line, we preview Lawrence County's Christmas attractions,
as well as a worldwide business that brings in over $1 million a year. The County Line starts now.
Plug in your
Good evening and welcome to the County Line. I'm Brittany Grego.
And I'm Drew Trifolis.
The holiday season is quickly approaching. To kick off the most wonderful time of the year, the 17th annual Newcastle Light Up Night Parade and Festival will take place on Thursday, November 18th. Take pictures with Santa at the Newcastle News or visit the public library for cookies and hot chocolate. The parade begins at 7 o'clock with Zambelli International providing fireworks immediately after. The event will be broadcast live by the Westminster Cable Network. The County Line's Mike Hazlett met with members of the Lawrence County Chambers of Commerce to understand the allure of the parade and why Light Up Night remains such a significant event to the community.
The city of Newcastle is preparing for something special, something that brings holiday cheer and the community together. This event is Light Up Night. Just a couple blocks away from where the parade will take off, Cindy DeProspero and Robert McCracken prepare for the parade. And Cindy tells us why she likes being involved with the kid-oriented Light Up Night.
One thing we notice is everybody's always happy. We have a few disgruntled adults sometimes, but the kids are just always so thrilled to be there and be on the float. They don't care if it's cold or what the weather's like. They're just always so happy to be there.
But the evening just doesn't consist of a parade. There are other festivities before the floats depart.
We do. We have entertainment starting at 6. We also have food novelty vendors in the downtown area. The Newcastle News does pictures with Santa, and the library usually has live music, and they give away hot chocolate and coffee and cookies. This year we're having a tree lighting ceremony at 6:45, and we're having the winner of the fireworks idol contest from the fireworks festival. He's going to sing the national anthem, and the mayor's going to light the Christmas tree.
Robert McCracken tells us the draw of the parade and why you should attend.
You know, we are a small town, and here it's still a small town event, but when you look at it, we have over 100 units in the parade. It lasts over an hour. It's climaxed with fireworks. For a little town to be able to do all that, that's tremendous. I mean, and you'll see people downtown that night that you wouldn't see downtown otherwise. You know, they come to watch their kids and grandchildren in the parade. So it really brings families together on one evening of the year in their community.
Light Up Night has been around in Newcastle for 18 years. But with Robert, Christmas parades in his hometown are cherished memories.
I can remember back to the original Christmas parades that took place in Newcastle. And, you know, I can remember riding in the front seat of my dad's truck as he pulled the Clenmore Church Choir through the Christmas parade. So my history goes back over 50 years with this parade in the community.
Be sure to come to the 2010 celebration on November 18th. Reporting for the County Line, I'm Mike Hazlett.
Newcastle hosts its annual Lights Festival at Cascade Park. The drive-through light display begins on Thanksgiving Day and continues every weekend through December from 6 to 9 p.m. Free pictures, hot chocolate, and cookies will be provided. Compliments of Nick's Auto Body. Bring the whole family to enjoy this holiday tradition.
The Christmas season is right around the corner, and you know what that means. Holiday productions will be in full swing across Lawrence County. The Newcastle Regional Ballet presents The Nutcracker at the Scottish Rite Cathedral this December. The show kicks off on December 4th at 7 p.m. and on December 5th at 2 p.m. For ticket information, call the cathedral's box office.
Cranex, the store for all seasons in Sharon, PA, is home to a 300-foot-long Christmas tree display. Santa's Christmas Land 2010 is now open. Customers can walk through an avenue of lights and sounds associated with the Christmas season, along with seeing many Christmas trees that are decorated and themed differently. Visiting the display is free, and all of the decorations used are for sale throughout the store. Coming up on the county line, we take you to a local flea market
and show you how a local couple is helping their native community.
McDevitt, a father, a husband, Army retiree, and a student at Westminster College. It was nice finding a college so close to home with high academics was going to put me in the job market right after graduation. If I was to tell another adult student why to come to Westminster, I'd tell them for the academics, the one-on-one personalization they'll get with their instructor, the small classroom experience. I know with this college degree, it's going to open a lot of doors for me. My kids are supportive of me going back to college. When I get good grades, they're all happy. They're like, way to go, Dad.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
The country of Slovakia is home to about 6 million people. Mercer County residents Ann and Dave Dayton are helping these people get out of poverty. The County Line's Angela Tucker tells us more about this unique mission shop.
After living in the country of Slovakia for half a year, the Daytons fell in love with the people and their art. They opened Slovak Folkgrass after returning to the States.
It is a mission store. We do not keep any of the profit ourselves. So for nearly 10 years that we've had the business, all the profit has gone back to Eastern Europe.
The unemployment rate in the village the Daytons lived in was 70%. The Daytons import and sell handmade Slovak crafts in order to lower this percentage. The most popular crafts are the hand-painted eggs. These are real eggs that have been emptied out and beautifully decorated. Due to customer requests, they carry a line of Polish pottery as well.
So many people have come to like it. There's so many shapes and patterns available, and it's useful in addition to being beautiful.
People come to the store because it is hard to find original Slovak folk crafts in America, but many customers also come to see the animated wood carving. This was hand-carved by 3 Slovak men. It has 82 moving figures and took 2.5 years to complete. Dave encourages people to come visit the store to carving. Reporting from Mercer County, I'm Angela Tucker for the County Line.
Flea markets bring in over $1 million a year as a worldwide independent business. In Lawrence County, there are 6 vending areas for people to set up and sell their products. The County Line's Tyrell Sipe takes a look at the Pulaski Flea Market and what it has to offer.
Around this area, we have a lot on Thursdays.
Okay. And do you have to pay to come to these to set up, or?
Yes, right at this particular place, it's $5 to set up.
Okay, so it isn't real expensive.
No, it's not an expensive.
Okay.
Well, I came back from my job in Labor Day weekend. I didn't have any more work, and I had no money, and I started a yard sale, and I found out you have to have a permit where my town, and I had a permit, but the following week, because I had a bad first week, I tried to do it again. They told me I couldn't have one for 30 days. So a friend of mine told me about take it out to a flea market at Rogers, and I went to Rogers, and somebody at Rogers told me about Hartville, and somebody at Hartville told me about Litchfield, and that's how I got here.
I come about every week, just one time a week. I usually work during the other days, so I come down here on Thursdays.
I buy closeouts, I buy warehouses, I go to stores and just wherever I can get it. Some days you lose money. It's easy to lose money. No one shows up. Last week was like that. 2 weeks ago, yeah.
What all do you sell here?
Mostly handles and a few tools. All kind of handles. Yeah. I repair shovels, axes, and stuff like that. But my handles all come from North Carolina.
Okay.
They're all hickory handles.
A Newcastle business provides a means of transportation for adults, teens, the elderly, vacationers, athletes, and more. At one time, golf carts were only seen on the green, but today are used in airports, on beaches, and behind the scenes in sports arenas. Golf Car Supply in Newcastle sells the rides that are growing in popularity. The County Line's Kate Altman shows us around the business. Stay tuned to the County Line as one of our reporters explores the lives of Tibetan monks.
The Sit Tight Down Sports is on the way.
Global warming is a problem.
Sound the alarm!
We think it's an important thing to save energy, to protect the environment, to protect the future.
Every who in Whoville makes a difference.
We need everyone!
Together? Together, we can all make a difference.
Save energy with Energy Star, and then you can be
part of the solution.
Go to EnergyStar.gov/kids to see what else you can do.
Cultural diversity in New Wilmington can be difficult to find. Westminster College faculty are always eager to expose students to lifestyles outside of their own. The County Line's Tiffany Burson shows us what happens when the local community and campus are exposed to an entirely foreign culture.
Westminster College and the surrounding area is known to have limited diversity. Professor Brian Rennie says he always welcomes the opportunity to show his students a glimpse of other cultures.
America is one of the most diverse places on the face of the planet. Of course, that's not reflected in the local community. And it's time that we showed that we have the strength and the confidence to welcome people of other cultures, other traditions, other faiths.
An opportunity arose to bring a group of traveling Tibetan monks to campus. But how does a small community respond to a foreign culture?
Well, the community here at Westminster College has been wonderful. This is the fourth trip of the Ganden Chartse tour, and each time it's grown and grown and grown. And this time, Professor Rennie was shocked at how many people showed up.
The monks hosted several functions to display their culture and spread their faith. The building of a sand mandala was one of the main events on campus.
When we see a mandala, we actually see a radiant three-dimensional light mandala representing mandala's Tara's inhabitants. In this case, though, with its grains of sand, we create this, and the reason we create this is to create a space and an environment to receive the blessings of Tara and the other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of her mandala, and to cleanse and purify the environment. So by conducting a lot of virtuous activity with mindfulness, effort, and intention, the monks will create this mandala using just that tube called a chakra. They'll fill it up with the grains of sand and vibrate it, drawing the sand out. And they create this elaborate, very beautiful structure that represents her place, her realm.
President Richard Dorman put it in a way which I could not improve upon, and fortunately, since this is on film rather than just in words, I can convey that to you because he didn't speak it. He said quite simply, Westminster's been a little bit too, and we need to be a bit more. And I thought that it couldn't be put better. You know, we need to open our arms to the world.
Crowds of students and local residents of all ages gathered to share the experience of the monks' arts and faith.
And the manifestation of this particular Buddhist rituals were kept secret. These are tantric secret teachings, and we have permission to share bits of them with you.
students witnessed an education system much more intense than their own. Every night for several hours, monk students are drilled with questions about their faith to make sure they did their homework. Westminster student David Lynch says Westminster needs to bring diversity to campus just to live up to the liberal arts title.
You know, because we have the chapel and all that, so we're very rooted in Christianity, and it's good to, see there's more things out there. There's more to learn.
Even at 8:30 on a Saturday morning, another crowd gathered for the disillusionment of the sand mandala. Attendants received a small amount of sand from the mandala to cleanse the environment of their homes. The monks once again dumped the last remnants of the sand mandala into the campus lake to cleanse our environment.
Our culture is a wonderful culture, of course. It doesn't denigrate our culture to recognise the strengths and virtues of other cultures. And when we see the artistic mastery, the skill, the precision, the sheer power of the cultural tradition that's manifested in Tibetan Buddhism, we see a little bit of what we're missing from the rest of the world. I would love to see more and more Eastern Orthodox monks, perhaps, or of course, Beijing acrobats as well, but everything to open ourselves up to that. And of course, it's immensely enriching for our student body to appreciate the difference and yet the beauty of other traditions.
I'm Tiffany Burson for the County Line.
Coming up next on the County Line, all your latest sports action in Titantown sports.
And later, we go on the road to give you a sneak peek into a local winery.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
Welcome to Titantown Sports. I'm Adam Plyler. With basketball season right around the corner, how does the men's basketball team look this year? Drew Trifolis and myself take you on a preview of the men's basketball team.
November 15th marks the start of basketball season here at Westminster College. Junior forward Rob Briggs explains the season outlook.
We're really confident this year. I think we have a lot to prove this year. I mean, we were picked 7th in the pack, so I think we're really going to be playing with a chip on our shoulder this year, and we're really excited. We're really ready to go.
The Titans do have a lot to prove, only going 7-19 last year in the regular season before losing in the first round of the PAC tournament to Bethany. Head coach Larry Ondeko explains what one of the best aspects of the team is this year.
You know, we're awfully young, but we got a lot of talent. We got a lot of depth, a lot of athleticism, and I don't know how good everyone else is going to be, but I think this team I have can be one of the better teams we've had.
The lone senior on the team, Max Spinner, says what he thinks the team's best asset is.
It's going to be depth. We've struggled with depth throughout my career here. And we've got a lot of guys that can come in, be our leading scorer, be our leading rebounder. We're not going to have to count on one player every night, and that's a good thing.
Stephen Kress, Division II transfer from Edinburgh, says the Titans' style of play will be different this year.
Fast pace, shoot the ball, get the ball in the hoop, just try and score a lot of points, and hopefully stop the other team from scoring a lot.
When asked about what he wants to say to Titan fans this year, Ondeko explains that this Titan team will be exciting.
Well, you know, it's tough because we start our season and go on such a long break. But, you know, I'd certainly like to say that I hope by the time they come back from Christmas break, and you're already talking about mid-January, but by that time we're a pretty good team, and, you know, looking forward to really having some exciting games in the end of January and early February, and certainly love to have their support like they're here tonight.
The Titans only returned 4 starters from last year's team and hope this young but deep squad can make a strong push for the NCAA tournament. For the County Line, I'm Drew Trifolis.
And we welcome for our players interview today the man with the dance moves, Adam Carswell. Thanks for joining us today.
How you doing, Blue?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good.
So you're a sophomore this year. What's it like being a Titan?
Being a Titan, it's always great. Always a great feeling. I don't know. I was just going back real quick. I like the dance moves you put in there. That video. It's pretty cool to see me out there.
I knew you'd like that. How will you make up for losing? I know you're sick of this question, but how will the team and you personally make up for losing, you know, the all-time leading scorer in the pack and Ryan Murray and everything?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we lost Murray, but I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Last year we won 7 games. So Murray is a great player, but there was a lot of shots taken last year by him. Now we have a lot more people that are going to be taking those shots. The blue and white game, I think we had me, Liam. We had at least maybe 5 to 7 kids that were in double-digit like scoring figures. And right now I think we're just a lot more well-balanced. We share the ball pretty well. And from last year, our chemistry, I just feel chemistry is clicking hardcore right now. So
you're a sophomore now. Explain the difference between coming in as a sophomore compared to a freshman from last year.
Definitely a lot different. When you're a freshman, I guess some freshmen could really overcome it, but for me, I guess I was just nervous. I mean, I had a pretty decent freshman year, but right now I have just the confidence and I guess maturity that you can't really develop unless you spend a year in the system. And, you know, our whole team, we were just really young last year, and it's just changed a whole lot now. You know.
We have a new incoming class of freshmen. How many of them are there, and how do they look this year?
Well, we have, let's see, we got Joey Shiminal, the criminal. He's a scrapper. He might not get that many minutes this year, but he's definitely someone we got to keep on the team. You know, I'm talking about chemistry. Like, he's great in the locker room. We got Anthony Thomas from Union, who put on a show the other night, scoring like crazy. Christian Tunch Diesel Shea, solid player. He's got the 3-point stroke and can take anybody to the hole. And got another freshman, Kendall Hunter. That's right. And he's pretty solid too. I mean, we got to beef him up a little bit. You know, you see him, he's a little skinny, but he's going to be a good player. So.
What's the strongest aspect of the team this year?
Strongest aspect would be unity. We really are just really together this year compared to what I've been used to. A lot of love going on in the locker room.
How's it different from last year?
Last year, I mean, we had good times last year, and, you know, I felt like this is where I needed to be. This is where everybody was. This is where we're supposed to be. But I just felt like just the way, comparing last year to this year, I can't really put it into words, but there's just a huge difference.
What do you want to say to Titan fans this year?
Titan fans this year, I want to say, you better be ready for some dunks, you better be ready for some wins, and you better be ready for my man, Cuzzy Klein, to come off the bench and drop 40 against Thomas More. And just do it.
Thanks for joining us today, Adam, and good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
More County Lines on the way. Stay tuned.
Oh, wow, me too. Gosh, it's such a small world. Oh, I feel like I've told you so much about me. What about you? What do you do all day? I mean, I like to go rollerblading in the park for hours. Is that something you might be interested in? Oh, and how do you feel about the whole collar and leash thing?
A dog is a long-term relationship, so before you start one, do your research. The American Kennel Club has some suggestions. Log on to our website, visit the library, talk to a responsible breeder, attend a dog show.
I hope I'm not being too personal, but I love kids. Do you? I absolutely adore your hair. Who doesn't?
Know what you need to choose the breed. A message from the American Kennel Club.
For For this week's segment of On the Road, Dave Nicholson and Corey Emanuel travel to Wilhelm Winery in Hadley, PA. Watch as owner Gary Schilling gives us a tour around the winery and shows us how he makes his wine.
Hi, I'm David Nicholson at Wilhelm Winery in Mercer County for On the Road. Constructed 100 years ago, this old barn is now home to Wilhelm Winery. Owner Gary Schilling tells us how he makes his wine.
We bring the wine in or the juice in, and we'll start a fermentation process. And what's going to happen is it's going to end up into these tanks, and we're going to inoculate it with yeast nutrients, the strains of yeast that we want to use onto it, and then we start the fermentation process. The fermentation actually only takes anywhere from like a week to 2 weeks. Oh yeah, it's working.
How can you actually tell when it is fermenting?
Well, see the little
Just the
bubbles.
little bubbles.
Yep, that's the yeast doing its job. It's eating the sugars and making alcohol. Now, once it starts fermenting like that, we'll come down and we'll stir it at least once a day. Make sure it's getting an even fermentation and everything. We'll keep monitoring how much of the sugars it's consuming. And then when it's done, basically it'll be out of sugars. And then your alcohol's in it, and you have, at that point, raw wine. And then once it ends up into a juice form, it'll go into these tanks. And if you can smell the aroma in this room, that's because this particular tank right here is fermenting.
These chambers store wine for up to 2 years before it is bottled. I gave some of the wine a taste to see what the buzz is all about. After tasting the flavorful wine, I decided to buy a few bottles for myself and my friends. I would like to thank the kind people at Wilhelm Winery for their hospitality. Reporting from Wilhelm Winery, I'm David Nicholson for On the Road.
Want your business or attraction to be featured in our On the Road segment? Simply contact us at the On the Road email address on your screen.
The Newcastle Playhouse presents Annie the Musical this month. The play runs weekends through November 28th. Friday and Saturday showtimes 7:30 p.m. and Sunday matinees begin at 2 p.m. For more information on ticket sales, contact the Playhouse at 724-654-3437. Newcastle Playhouse is located on 202 East Long Avenue.
On November 16th, 7 members of the 2011 Broadcast Communications Department will present their capstone documentaries here at Westminster. The year-long hard work will finally pay off. All are welcome to attend. The presentations begin at 5:30 p.m. in Mueller Theater.
To celebrate Thanksgiving, Westminster College's chapel will host a community worship. The service will take place on Sunday, November 21st at 7 p.m. All members of the campus and community are invited to attend the Thanksgiving worship.
Westminster Celebrity Series brings in Jim Brickman to tickle the ivories this November. The pop pianist is creating a musical getaway to help stressed audiences enjoy the holiday season. Brickman plans to play solo on the piano, as well as being accompanied vocally by a few guests. The Ohio native is known for his 2 Grammy nods, 6 gold and platinum albums, and 28 top-charted radio hits. The concert is scheduled for November 30th. Tickets range from $25 to $45. Please call the Westminster box office for further ticket information. That's the news for tonight's edition of The County Line. Be sure to check WCN247.com for all your local campus and community updates.
And we'll see you next week for another edition of The County Line, as well as all the latest sports action in Titantown sports. Good night.
Good night.